Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of RaceSpot TV Friday Primetime Live here on the iRacing Esports Network. I am Connery Maddock, and I'm joined by Ryan Walker for this one. The RaceSpot TV Friday Primetime takes itself to the Indianapolis Road Course here in the Indy Pro 2000 Championship. Track information is up on your screens for you right now, and Ryan, is shaping up to be an awesome race. We got qualifying underway already. You've been racing this car throughout the week. How's it been for you?
Good evening, Connery, and this track is absolutely fantastic. As we know, it's famous for hosting the Indy 500, but tonight it will be hosting the Indy Pro 2000 Championship. And I have to say, this layout that we're using this week for the official series has been absolutely fantastic, and I'm enjoying it. And I think this evening it's going to be an absolute barnstormer. And I think this race, with such a big field turning out tonight, I think it should be an exciting race. I'll say it again, exciting race.
Yep, it should well be. And of course, here we are. Hello, I'm Connery Maddock. That's Ryan Walker over there. I am pointing in the right direction. Yes, I am. Sometimes things get flipped over. But thank you guys very much for joining us for this one. We are actually a couple of minutes away from getting ourselves into the race session, and we're actually seeing a couple of new names pop up onto the starting roster for this one. We got Basilas Remenick making his first appearance in this series, and there's so many names like his, I'm just reading down, that I have never seen before in this series. So that's going to add a little bit of an unknown element to the racing that we'll get here today, Ryan. Yeah,
absolutely, and they also have this tricky infield section as well. Section, I think it's going to be, it'll make the pack really close, but you've got the likes of the quick guys up at the front that will be able to break away. The likes of Joslag and Greg Seitz and Phil Dennis as well, and Remenick I realise or recognise as well from various series, but I'm not sure if this is his first time or not. But he's a pretty quick lad on iRacing.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen him so far this season, and we can actually bring you some on-track action here in terms of the qualifying session. You can see that there's 3 minutes left on the clock, and if I can pull up the side panel, we can see the times as they are right now. And you can see some drivers yet to complete all of their laps, and there's one driver that's yet to complete a lap. That is going to be Graham Sanders. We see him out there from Club West in that number 7 car, as he is the only driver yet to set a time in this one.
Yep, Graham I recognise as well. He's famous for streaming on Twitch, and races a whole range of cars and series. Good to see him out tonight, but like you say, he's not set a time at the moment, and this will probably be his only, one of his only chances to set a time, or the next time a round will be his last chance, as we've only got about 2 minutes and 15 seconds remaining. But I have to say, Connery, it's the races so far this week I've enjoyed, and that long home straight, if you're behind someone and you can use a slipstream, you could possibly make a move heading down to turn 1. But I think it's going to be a major factor this evening.
Yeah, we're on board with Graham Sanders as he heads his way across the line. And we just got the lap time there. That's a 1:21.5 there for Graham Sanders. Good enough to put him up into the 12th spot for the time being here in qualifying. But time is slowly but steadily starting to run out for these guys. I'm just seeing there's Andrea Antognini behind the wheel of that number 19 car, who's in 20th place at the moment. And, well, if this was a flying lap, he's basically completely and utterly bent it coming through the first sector there. So that is basically everyone that I can see that's done in qualifying. Not sure what the status is of Drone de Cortel here, as he looks like he's on the lap. He's just heading his way through the infield section right now, but doesn't have a lot of time to just get this across the line.
Yeah, absolutely. This will be on a flying lap at the moment, and the next lap will be probably his last chance to improve his lap time. But it seems to be that the second lap, as always, Connery, is that there's the quicker lap once the tyres are up to temperature. But I think with this tyre model as well, and the tyres being cold. I think the early stages of this race is going to be crucial, just about settling down and not doing anything silly. And these drivers, I think it's probably best for them just to let the race pan out, as the race is 22 laps, so you've got plenty of time just to make up positions if you have to.
Yep, you do have plenty of time. So that's basically everyone done in qualifying. We just have to wait the 20 seconds or so before we move on into the race session. You might be wondering why I'm actually holding my microphone while things decided to snap on my actual microphone stand. So I'm going to have to do this handheld style, which is not the normal way I do things here, not the normal way things are done in real life either, but we will just have to deal with that situation. But with qualifying, top 10 cars spread by about a second, that's decently close. And now, since we swap over into the next session, we can actually bring you the starting grid here for today's race. And, well, it'll look a little bit like this. We have Phil Dennis on pole position from California. We have British representation on the front row as well. Joshua Ladd is there in second place. Henrik Fuseth there in third place with Greg Seitz in P4. Then we cycle things back. Ocean Walsh in P5 with Basilas Remenick in sixth place. Everett Paddock starts in seventh with James Pinsker in that 8th place on the starting grid. Connor Ryan in P9 with Evan Imre in the side top 10. Jerome Cortell lines up in 11th place. Graham Sanders in P12. Adrian Rodriguez in P13. Thomas Hennis there in P14. P15 goes to Severi Seppa, and the 16th spot will go to Sam Kuitert. In 17th lines up Max King from New Jersey. Igancio Sarimento in P18. Dennis Cornu in P19. And Andrea Antogonini in P20. P21 goes to Tanguy Queganera. We got Kevin Cox in P22. Pascal Filotto in P23. 24th will go to Aaron Roofs. And that will be your entire grid for this one. Looks like we'll be getting a full pace lap here today. So we got some more time to try and talk things over as these guys get themselves set up behind the pace car to get themselves started here for this one. But just returning to you, Ryan, what are your expectations coming into this one? Because, like I said, you've raced this series in the previous couple of days. How's the racing been turned out? And do these trains keep themselves together because of the draft through the final couple of turns and down the pit straight, or does everything get strung out?
The early stages of the race is probably it's really close up at the front and in the mid pack, but I'd probably say as the race goes on, it starts to spread out a little bit, and the quick guys in this car, they'll probably pull away and just they leave everyone behind. But I think we're going to be in for a close race, and I think it should be interesting to see what sort of tactics people use, especially on the home straight towards the end or halfway through the race. Do they go for it, or just sit behind and maybe plan a move in the closing stages? But I think it's going to be interesting by what sort of tactics people use. And I think if you're these quick guys up at the front, you want to try and get away from the rest of the pack as quickly as possible.
Yep, you really do. As you see these guys snake their way through into the infield section then, and of course keeping themselves 2x2 as is the start procedure in this one. Josh Ladd, that's the driver that you see up on screen, weaving back and forth, trying to get some heat into those tires. Of course, as more cars get onto basically the updated tire model, the more important that getting those tires up to temperature becomes, of course. They're basically stone cold here on the opening lap. So whatever you can do to try and help that situation, the better.
Absolutely. And also as well, these drivers are going to have to be careful into turn one because the cold tyres, and maybe they might still have cold brakes as well with this home straight being so long. So some of these drivers are going to have to be on their toes into turn one and just be a little bit more, not cautious, but just be more aware.
Yeah, we have to, as they head their way out of the infield back onto the actual Indianapolis oval course. We do go the wrong way as far as oval racing is through the final turn, though. You can see that. Of course, big trouble in the mid-2000s when Formula One tried to race at this racetrack. They couldn't deal with the banking. Well, the vast majority of the cars couldn't deal with it due to the tyre compound. But no such problems here in this one. Pace car down on towards pit lane. We'll get the green flag here on Racebot TV Friday prime time at the Indianapolis road course. Look at the weaving that's being attempted there by Phil Dennis, I believe that was, coming in towards turn number 1 as your race leader. He's able to squeak his way ahead there and maintain position. A bit of a stack up behind, though, for positions a little further behind that. Greg Seitz and Henrik Frustreff going side by side through the right-hander. They almost make contact there through the apex, but somehow Greg Seitz has been able to find his way ahead. There's the dive, though, from Walsh down the inside of Frustreff. The number 8 and the number 9 cars battling it out in the early stages of this race. Frustreff is just about able to hold on, but they continue on side by side down the back straight, then looking for the brakes in towards the left-hander, and Ocean Walsh is just going to have to stick behind. But what frantic fighting on the first lap.
Oh, absolutely. And there was issues further back in the field as well. It looks like Andrea Antonzini was unfortunately tagged at the back of the field and turn 1, and just some drivers being caught out by poor brakes, I think.
Frustreff, he just dips 2 tyres into the grass, and all of a sudden he has an entire train trying to come through on him. He does slot back into position, though, in P8, but yeah, that's a huge bunch of positions lost from what seems like a very simple error there for Frustreff, and the slipstream train starts, I suppose, on the way in towards turn number 1 then. But let's just head things back and take another little look at that moment with Frustreff. We're actually going to go on board with him. It's through the exit of this corner right here. He'll just dip 2 tyres in, and sometimes 2 tyres into the grass is all you need. There's 1 position, there's 2 positions, there's 3 positions gone as far as that number 9 is concerned.
Yeah, it's a difficult corner to get right, that one, because you get so tempted just to get back on the power straight away in the middle of the corner, but you've got to be really patient, and like we saw, Henrik just unfortunately ran wide a little bit and got in the grass, and it just killed his momentum. But still a long way to go, and he's still sitting in P7 at the moment, so all's not lost. And
we can see the battles for Frustreff do continue here, because he has Everett Paddock to try and get by, and now there starts to be a separation. There's a spin ahead. I think that's Josh Ladd that's had a spin. Yes, it is. Drama there through towards the final couple of corners of the road course, of the infield, excuse me. Josh Ladd, again, is this going to be the grass striking again? I believe it is. We'll just take a little look on the replay then. Here's Josh Ladd. Does it take out another front runner? Just about. Like half a tyre into the grass, and that's all it needs to spin that car right around.
Yep, and I think Josh Ladd just tried to get on the power too early, and they just unfortunately ran wide, and they just clipped the grass ever so slightly, but luckily managed to hold it and get going again. But I think that corner's going to catch a few people out, but back up towards the front, this battle for third position between Ois and Walsh and Ballas Remennik is going on at the moment, and Remennik is looking quite racy.
Yeah, he is looking quite racy. He's, basically started roughly around about that. In fact, I can pull up the positions gains over the course of this race on the left-hand side of your screen. You can see Seitz is up 2, Walsh up 2, Remennik up 2, Frustreff down 2. That's mostly from that bit of a problem running wide on the start, but you can see how things have indeed shuffled. Quartel actually losing 2 spots there further down the field, but no absolutely